Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so, Sagittarius, our card tonight is the Five of Cups, which has to do with, disappointment, unfortunately. But we'll see how this kind of plays in with the tea leaf. Sometimes, it is the big energy of the reading. Other times, it might be a little fragment, just something kind of floating on through. Okay, let's take a look. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to hit the like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Absolutely. Especially if you're new to the channel. Go ahead and shout that out in the comment section. Okay, so it looks like we have two people who, we have one, we have two, we have a heart, maybe even a child involved. It almost feels like a courtship. Maybe there has been a separation. Maybe you have been a single parent for a long time. It feels like this is a situation where there is maybe a little bit older child involved. A lot of considerations made about, bringing people around the family and taking things slow and getting to know somebody before you really kind of fold them into your life, right? When we're young, we're so eager to kind of connect to people, I think, that maybe we go a little more quickly. Right? But as you get older and you've had, different experiences and especially if you have children or people that you are very close with, you are protective of who you bring around to meet, for the family to get to know. You want to be sure before you kind of embark on that journey. And I feel like in this situation, there is love here. At least the growing of love. The seed has been planted. But I look over here and it looks like we have a person holding a scythe. And then up here we have two eyes. We have a nose, sad face, tears. Tears pouring down. Okay? So I feel like there is an outside force that is kind of getting involved. Now, if this is on your side of the deal, or if this is, and I imagine this maybe is their ex-partner. Somebody maybe they were married to or had a pretty involved long-term relationship. And it feels like they just can't let this person go. Now, it might even be that you've done the courting, you have decided to live together, maybe you're even married, and they still have this ex, this person from the past, maybe even years ago, that just cannot get over the fact, right, that they have moved on. And there's a sense of meddling. Now, it might be that the child involved is their kid, right? And you're kind of playing the role of a bonus parent, or maybe they're all grown up, and you've gotten married or started dating their parent, and you want to get to know them. Everybody's trying to be cordial, except for this, you know, old relationship, this family that once was now kind of, yeah, and not by any fault of your own, right? You did not cause this. But, you know, I feel like it's somebody who can't let go of the fact that, hey, we've moved on. Everybody's moved on except for them. And I feel like that can be quite troublesome. To find yourself in that kind of situation doesn't sound very fun. It doesn't sound like something that anybody would want to really be involved in. So I think that this is a place where, yeah, maybe you have to kind of decide, how are we going to move forward? Like, are we going to continue to just kind of ignore, disengage from that outside force? Or is this something that is so problematic that, you know, you have to reassess? Do I really want to continue to date this person? They come along with a lot of drama here, and it's maybe not their fault at all, right? But that does not change the discomfort, the inconvenience, and turmoil. I mean, it really is just a lot of turmoil. And, you know, that's something that you will have to really think about, I feel. It's, you know, something to really consider. What are the pros and cons here? You know, doing the old school, make a list, right? Make a list. Look at both sides of the thing. How is this going to work out? Okay, so I want to look over here. Okay. So it looks like we have a tree. We have a person who is sitting. Where's my stick? We have the tree right here. We have a person that looks like they're picking apples. Maybe you can see, here's the head, here's the body, the feet, arm lifted, kind of reaching up into the tree here. Now over here we have somebody who's sitting. You can kind of see the body here, the shape of the leg and the head kind of looking down. I could imagine maybe sewing or crocheting or sitting and reading or whatever it is. Now we have another person over here who looks like they have their head here, their body, they're holding maybe another apple. We have a person standing here. You can see the head, the hair's flowing down, their arm is reached up. And I imagine them really like kind of reaching into the moon, okay? So we have this real kind of lunar energy, which is very timely. It's just about to be the full moon, right? That super jumbo, super moon. I think, is it the sturgeon moon this month? I don't know. I can't remember. I should know. It's my birthday coming up real soon here. I should know what moon aligns with with this time of the year. But I get this sense of sisterhood immediately. Sisterhood, kinship, maybe at times the difficulty of navigating the relationships within families. It seems like you come from a family that is fairly competitive. And now, it might not be overtly so, but I think that there is definitely a sense of like trying to outdo one another, even if it's subconscious. And I think that it has followed you all deep into adulthood. Even if you're like 75 years old, you are still competing with your sisters. Or, you know, maybe it is that these are cousins or, you know, friends or whoever it is that you have been so very close with. And it might be that they have already transitioned, but you continue to kind of be motivated by the people around you. And I feel like this was a beautiful way to kind of grow up, even if it sounds kind of like, well, to me, I imagine a house full of arguing at times, and other times being, you know, like the strongest bond in the world, and then other times kind of vying for different positions within different alliances in the family. Can you tell that I have some siblings, right? I only grew up with one, really, but we have older siblings, and so yeah, to some degree of understanding of these family politics. And I feel like these are people who even when it's really difficult, even when you are arguing, when you're disagreeing, when you don't want to see each other, you don't want to talk to each other for, you know, days, weeks, months. These are your family who you know are there for you. If they're chosen, if they're biological, if they are a friends group, it does not matter. These are your people. This is your family. And I feel as there is this movement, and it is, I think, some health. There's health stuff, and that's, I see the tree with the apple, and so I know that there is maybe somebody within the group who maybe is going through something pretty serious medically. Maybe they're in some kind of treatment, but they're actively trying to combat whatever it is that is going on with them. And I feel like you have been so much a part of this journey. You've been right there supporting them, checking in on them, you know, helping in the ways that you can. And I think that ultimately, you know, I see you really kind of in this night side place where you are very connected with your dream world. I feel that you maybe have been having kind of prophetic dreams where you might think, okay, these are my anxieties being played out. These are my hopes, my dreams. And I believe that could be fully true, right? Of course, it's woven into it. But I do also think that our dream spaces really, they have so much to do with the way that this reality is going to play out, right? And I don't know if that is that our dreams influence reality or reality influences our dreams. Are we seeing what is happening? Is that why, you know, we kind of have a little glimpse at what is already set in motion? Or is it that we dream and it's this kind of random alignment of information, and that really has an effect on this consensus reality that we exist within, right? And that's the material world, what we perceive to be shared with other beings, right? Or other humans and animals and plants and whatever. I don't know which way that goes. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know, though. I vacillate between my understandings. It really depends on the day, to be honest. But what I do know is that living a life of intentionality, of intuition, of listening to yourself, And not only yourself, but listening to what is it around us? I don't know. Maybe it's the divine, nature, the so many systems that are in place to upkeep this reality that we live in. I don't know what it is exactly, but I know that if we learn to decipher the symbols, the patterns, the energies flowing in and out, we become masters of our own realities. We become architects of our own realities. We begin to decide, how am I going to experience this world that I live in, that I am a part of, that is of me? And it's hard. It's hard to get to that place. But I look at this and I feel like, yes, you are so plugged in. And I feel like when you have somebody very close to you that you love so dearly and they're going through it, and you don't always know exactly what to do or how to help or what to say, I feel like this really has activated you into a journey into self. So you can begin to figure out, how can we help? What should I be doing? What does this all mean? And so I want to look at some clarifying cards over here, because we also have this other figure that's kind of seated, and I feel like in a state of maybe contemplation, possibly creating something, weaving something, you know, sewing, whatever it is. And I kind of want to know, how does this affect everything else? Who is this? What's going on with them? So I'm going to use these Oracle of the Radiant Sun cards, and I'm just going to flip through and kind of stop where it feels right. And I am terrible at shuffling. So yes, I do my own little flippy version here. I just flip through and stop. Okay. Here we go. So we have caution. We have protection. So I'm already feeling like we have like a mother energy here watching over. And I think maybe you might be like in that kind of adaptability. Okay. So I feel like you maybe be, or you might be in that kind of older sister, older brother, head of the family, kind of the elder. I get that energy that maybe you are the oldest or you are close to, and you look out for everybody else. So I do feel like there's almost a sense of, with the caution, almost a sense of not wanting to get involved where you don't understand what is going on, right? Especially if this is somebody who is going through some kind of medical issue, and you want to be there, you want to be involved in the ways that they want you to be, in the ways that you can be, but you are not necessarily very learned in this department. And as far as like their medical, whatever it is that they're having to deal with, right? And maybe you are educating yourself about it, but I think that you are exercising caution because you know that they look to you. You know that your family looks to you because they think that, you know, you are somebody who maybe is somewhat infallible, right? Somebody who knows a lot about life, who knows what they're doing, who has the answers. And it can be difficult to be that person in your family. But I feel like you take the responsibility of it very, very seriously. So when somebody is looking to you for some answers and you don't really have any understanding of what is going on, you will take caution. You will not just kind of feed into something that, you know, might end up being detrimental if you give them the wrong advice. So I do feel you kind of being very supportive, but also a little bit passive in this situation, right? Kind of like, well, we got to see what the doctors say. We'll listen to the doctors. We're going to do whatever, you know, course of treatment or techniques or modalities or whatever it is. And I'm going to help you, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to support you, and I'll go to all your appointments with you. And, you know, this is the kind of energy I think you have, right? Now, you are protective, of course. You would do anything for your family, especially because I do feel like you maybe are the older one. And maybe it is that you're the youngest, but you have always had to behave like the oldest, right? We've all had situations where even our older siblings, you know, they need a little bit of guidance themselves, right? Of course, none of mine. My siblings are perfect, so shout out to them. They know what they're doing. But yes, I do. I feel like there's this very protective quality that you have. Now, we also have adaptability. And so I feel that you are, because you are the person that is really kind of often in this taking care of those around you and those that you love, you're in this position so often that you have become so very adaptable to the whims of your family. Now, I think that this is not a bad thing. It's definitely something that I myself wish that I were. You know, I wish that I was a little more open and flexible, and, you know, I try to be very understanding, but from an uninvolved point of, you know, I'm over here, they're over here, they're having their thing, and I am very open-minded, very accepting of that, but I also don't necessarily want to be right in the mix. I want to be over here doing my own thing, right? And so I wish that I could be more of a person who could get right in there and be super adaptable. But one thing I do know about Sagittarius people, which some of the great women of my life are Sagittarius mothers, right? And so I think of Sagittarius often in this mother role. Even if you are not, you know, identify as a woman, you can still have these very kind of parental, motherly qualities even as a father, right? And so I do feel like this is confirming, you know, that you are somebody who is strong in these ways, but also a reminder: do not, you know, bend and fold and you know, try to be so adaptable that you end up breaking, right? You bend over backwards sometimes for people, and I'm sure that they are very thankful for that, but sometimes it really interferes with the life that you are leading, the life that you want to have. And I think that, you know, for the most part, you're okay with that. But sometimes it becomes quite detrimental to your own vision of life, of, you know, the world, of your own family unit. And so be mindful of that. You can only give so much, even if you want to give every single part of yourself, you know. But we have to be very mindful of, yeah, keeping ourselves as charged as we can, giving ourselves time for ourselves. And the big thing, Sagittarius, is making sure that you're resting, because I know that you are not. I know that you're busy, busy, busy. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look over here. Now we do have an arrow of love up here. And we have a squirrel. And we have that fish. Ooh, and we have the snake beneath the sun. So I feel like there is almost kind of this desire to maybe like go into business with your significant other, somebody that you are have been in a long-term relationship with, or maybe, you know, it is that you have met this person, you're dating, you're getting more serious, and you're starting to see like, hey, maybe we could like actually, you know, start a business together. Maybe we could actually do something. Our skills are complementary. We're both really capable people, and maybe this is a good opportunity to start something for yourself. And I really feel that desire coming through. Now with the snake under the sun, I feel like there will be kind of a revelation of how this might be able to happen. What can you do? What kind of business can you have? What positions might you play in this work? And with that fish in the middle, it's very much about wanting to make some more money, really. And I think that, you know, you have this desire to be able to hopefully retire one day. And maybe it is that you are retired, but you are doing some kind of, you know, side hustle or part-time work to supplement your income a little bit. And so I look at this and I feel like, you know, this is a core driver in your life, which it is for most of us, right? And so, yeah, it makes sense that you maybe meet somebody, you think, yeah, we could do this together. Let's get going on it. And I think that's a great idea. And I think there will be a lot of clarity about how this might come to pass. Now, also, I feel like there's a great amount of love, and I feel like this is maybe somebody who you actually could work with. You know, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, I would have told you, don't start a business with your family members. I have seen that dynamic before very closely, and it seems usually like a pretty troubled one that can be very stressful. But now, you know, I am married to my business partner, so we do all of our work together. And shout out to my husband, by the way, over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. My husband Paul is amazing. Go check him out. He's the best tarot reader there ever was. And you know, and of course we have our trials and tribulations, and it's not always easy to live and work and raise a family together. We're together dang near 24 hours a day. But, you know, if you care for somebody and enjoy their companionship, their company, their, you know, just their abilities, and you fit together in that way, yeah, I would say go for it. It's like living the dream. You know, of course, there's nobody to go home to at the end of the day and say, oh my gosh, can you believe this person I'm working with, what they did? Yeah, because it's your spouse. It's your spouse that you're going to be complaining to. But no, it is worth it. I'm just kidding. But yeah, definitely feel like there is this kind of fire lit in your life. And you know, and I think at times you could maybe feel a little spread thin because you're doing a lot. There's a lot going on. But, you know, I think ultimately it just feels like life is quite meaningful right now. I feel like you're really in there. You're very present. And even when there are difficulties, I feel like it's like you thrive, you excel when you're problem solving and you're being helpful and, you know, advocating and getting things together and seeing them through. All of this, I think, really, it makes you feel quite alive. And that's what I feel. There is a sense of feeling really alive right now and capable. Having such confidence in yourself. Okay, so these are our gratitude affirmation cards from Purple Canyon. And I'm just going to flip through. We're going to stop where it feels right. It says, seed of thankfulness. I practice gratitude toward those I love. I am grateful for the love of those who choose me. Family, mentors, and friends have sown into me. I sow back with a heart of thankfulness. So if you don't know what that really means, right? Sown into me. This is kind of like that saying, you reap what you sow. So it is, the sowing is planting seeds, right? And you reap what you sow. So whatever grows of that, right? That's the fruit, the leaves, the whatever it is that you will get from your work of planting those seeds and caring for them and tending to them and so on. So this really is a beautiful thought of, yeah, we give unto each other, right? We are, in the way that we talk to one another and our energies exchanged and the time we offer each other, all of which is so valuable. It really does grow within us, and whatever we put out into the world and to those around us, it also grows within them. So the practice is, place your hand on your heart and lean into the sensation of love as you breathe. Give gratitude to your heart for its offering of love. Beautiful. I love it. All right. Sagittarius, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And also, if you'd like to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Absolutely. Other than that, I think that was it, right? All right. Okay, Sagittarius, I love you. Take care. We'll talk in a few days. Good night.